This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Bryant text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
One text messenger puts it this way, Teneby, isn't leading the Twins in all offensive categories sort of like being the funniest guy at Flop, Sweat, and Tears? And that would be, I think that sums it up quite succinctly. In other words, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter when you have a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans and a terrible stadium. Time now for 534.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1. It's time now for What's Your Rank? A 10 hut!
Execs, coaches, and scouts rank the top 10 quarterbacks for 2025 in the National Football League at ESPN.com.
Let me guess, Pat Mahomes, number 1.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes once again ranked number 1, though he didn't get as many votes as he had in past seasons. Josh Allen, number 2. Joe Burrow, number 3. Lamar Jackson, number 4. Jaden Daniels, the sophomore, at number 5. Your guy Matthew Stafford at number 6. Justin Herbert at 7. From the Lions, Jared Goff at 8, Jalen Hurts at 9, and then Baker Mayfield at 10. By the way, the others receiving votes, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa, and Bo Nix. Common, do you agree with these rankings?
What were those top 3 again?
Top 3?
Yeah.
Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow.
I'm on board at that. What's 4, 5, and 6?
Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, and Matthew Stafford.
I'm on board at that.
Then Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, and Baker Mayfield.
I think we both, I don't know, that next 4, you could swap those names around.
I feel like Jalen Hurts should be up higher.
Yeah. Maybe he probably should.
He just won a big game.
Yeah. I
take him over Justin Herbert.
Yeah. I guess if you asked me if we were doing a fantasy football thing or we're drafting a football NFL team, I'd probably take Hurts over.
Well, if you're taking fantasy football, you're taking him up over the vast majority of these guys because he runs, because of the
Well, what I meant by
push,
fantasy football was,
yeah.
I didn't mean like actual fantasy football, just like if it was fantasy. If we were putting together a team, you could do whatever you wanted. I would probably take him over Herbert because I just think he's a better player. I think he's proven it. I mean, he wins games, and Herbert doesn't win as many. Maybe, again, we look at the Eagles and the way they've been constructed with their offensive and defensive lines. That all certainly starts there. I don't know if it ends there, but it certainly starts there. But I guess I don't have a lot of problems. You could probably rearrange those 10 and put, who's at 3 could be at 4, and 4 could be moved to 3.
You could argue Lamar Jackson over Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and there's but I think that's pretty accurate. Do you? Other than you said, the
Jalen Hurts is the one that stuck out to me. I was a little surprised to see Baker Mayfield up at 10. I get it. He's been pretty competent the last 2 years, but
who would you slide in there below him into that?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, every guy that's behind him has a flaw.
Yeah.
Right, like C.J. Stroud had a down year this past year compared to his rookie year. Jordan Love, I think, is probably where he's supposed to be. He's just okay. Kyler Murray, every year I kind of think this is going to be the year he breaks out, but he's probably watching too many video games instead of studying properly. But I do think I'm gonna fall for it again with Kyler because I think his tight end he has is elite. You're gonna have a second year of Marvin Harrison Jr. Kyler was pretty good after he came back last year. Towards the end of the season, I think he was moving along pretty good. So if he can somehow just stay healthy for an entire season, I think Kyler might make a jump out of anyone on this list.
You like this Kyler Murray kid, don't you?
Well, I don't know why I keep falling for him.
Yeah, well, I get it.
Because I've been wrong. I've been wrong almost every time with him.
Yep.
Question number 2. Time to go beyond the baseline.
Yannick Sinner beat Carlos Alcaraz 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 to win his first championship at Wimbledon. It was his fourth Grand Slam title, moving him one away from Alcaraz's 5. Common, did you watch any of Wimbledon, and will Sinner and Alcaraz become the next great tennis rivalry?
I got to be honest with you. When this is on me and not anybody else, I'd never heard of either of those two guys until you just ripped me their names.
I'd heard of Alcaraz.
I've heard of Alcatraz. It's a prison, just, or it used to be a prison. It's located in San Francisco Bay. But I couldn't have identified either one of those players. Are the days of Connors, Borg, and McEnroe over officially now, right?
Yeah.
How about that next group? It's been
Federer,
Djokovic.
Djokovic was the 6th seed in this, so he's still going.
Okay,
the other two are retired.
They're done. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the new breed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will be a great rivalry. If how many majors have they each won?
Alcaraz has won 5, and now Sinner's at 4.
Oh yeah, it sounds like these two guys are gonna battle back and forth for decades to come. On the women's side, I did read that it was 6-0, 6-0 blowout, and the loser was blubbering, but she thanked her mother, because her mother's been by her. I think her father died at a young age or something. I thought I read, but yeah, I mean, it was a 6-0, 6-0 blowout. But yeah, and again, the names there, Chris Everett's not there anymore. Yvonne Goolagong, those are
Serena and Venus.
Because those are the people I watch, and I guess they're not around anymore. So yeah, that's probably.
I think the only women's tennis player I can name would be Coco Gauff. I don't know if I can name one after that.
Well, now I can. Was her name Swiatek? Or is that a guy? I think that's the woman that's really good. I don't know. Tennis just doesn't do it for me. I'd rather watch pickleball. I told you.
If tennis went back to the wooden rackets, then I'd pay attention.
Yeah, you're right. It's especially on the men's, it seems like I'm sure there's a lot of volleys. So it's a lot of those things where there's this belief that all of a sudden this isn't really quite true, but everybody just starts to believe it, right? And that would be that there's never any volleys anymore in men's tennis. It's just one ace after a double fault or an ace. And I think it is more than that, but but you could make the same argument with golf. Go back to Persimmon Woods and get back to me, right? Because now they can hit them. And Craig was telling me, Craig Warren, master professional, my good friend, member of the Minnesota Golf Hall of Fame. We text and talk more than most people know. His Frankie Sappin, you and I have talked about him a lot on the radio. He's from Minnesota. He plays on tour. He's made some cuts. He made a cut this weekend. He wasn't playing at the Scottish Open. They have, I don't know what they call it, but when the bigger names are playing, like in a signature event or something, they'll have a secondary tournament. He made the cut, and Craig was showing me some of his drives. Like he hit one drive 371 yards.
That's crazy.
You can't do that with a Persimmon Wood. You just can't. And so some would say, well, no, with the equipment the way it is, why don't you go ahead and go back to one where you had Persimmon Woods when a wood was really a wood and not a metal. But I tend to agree with you. When I played tennis as a kid, this is how long it was. All we had were wooden. We were just before they started coming out with these metal rackets with all, but I don't know all the different materials they use for them, but we used to play with just wooden rackets. I used to love to play tennis. Just loved it when we were kids. We played all the time. Coon Rapids, they have those lighted courts. They were the only lighted courts we knew of, and we lived in Coon. We loved it. We'd go up there. We'd sit around, have a beer or two, maybe some marijuana, and we'd go up there and we'd play tennis at night under the lights. A lot of fun. But pro tennis doesn't do a lot for me anymore.
Question number 3. Vision for the division.
We've gone through the AFC East, South, and North. Let's finish off the AFC with the AFC West. Common, your prediction for the AFC West in the 2025 NFL season.
Kansas City, Oakland. Who else?
It's not Las Vegas. The Superchargers and the Denver
Hard for me to bet against those Kansas City Chiefs, really. I don't know. What has Oakland done? Who do they have now? They have a new coach, right?
Pete Carroll's their head coach. They acquired Geno Smith. They actually, in the last 2 drafts, they arguably have the 2 best offensive players,
really?
At least skill player. They got Brock Bowers, tight end last year, and then this year they got the running back, Ashton Genty.
Elway doesn't play anymore, right? He's out.
he's out, yeah.
How about Brock Osweiler? Is he still with the club? Who is their quarterback now?
Bo Nix, who was a rookie.
Oh, that's
he was
right.
an old rookie last year.
Yeah.
But they got Sean Payton.
In Seattle ended up.
Chargers had a decent year last year.
Seattle's got our guy Darnold, right?
They do, yes. They're in the NFC West.
Well, it's NFC.
Yeah.
Who's the other AFC team?
Las Vegas, the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
The Radiators.
I don't, it's a boring division, does nothing for me. And I think it's the Chiefs to lose, right? I don't think anybody can challenge them unless
They're due to get challenged one of these years. At least I feel like there's more competition in that division this year than maybe in previous years.
Right.
But you pick the Chiefs until they get knocked off.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, the best way to put it. There you go. There's 5-3-4.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Tennessee's got a keyword as we head into break.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword bonus at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That keyword is bonus. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Differently depending upon Joan Beringer is his name. It's not Joan Beringer. His name is Joan Beringer. Here in America, it's Tennessee. They don't go Tennessee, right? They don't change it for over there.
It's not Marco Rossi. It's Rossi.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. His name is Joan Beringer. I'm not going to pronounce it Joan Beringer. It doesn't sound as cool either. Wouldn't you rather be Beringer? And just to be able to say this, I wonder what play-by-play guy's going to do. Is he going to go with Beringer or Beringer? What do you prefer, Tennessee? I mean, again,
I would love to say, but I can't even say it properly, but I would have to learn.
Beringer.
Beringer,
as they want to say it. If you'll remember, I have a lot of kooky ideas. I mean, that most people feel are kooky. Some recent examples would be signing 4 or 5 of the best free agent running backs when they weren't worth anything anymore. Think about it. We could have had Saquon Barkley for, what did he get last year? Just now he signed like a $250 million contract. So
I thought it was like 12 and a half a year.
We could have had him for 12 and a half. Sure would have helped our club because our running game really wasn't, it was okay last year, but it wasn't effective enough where we could do play action. Why do you think the what's the quarterback's name? We just talked about him for Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts.
Why do you think Hurts has good? Well, it's because they don't know what to do. They're either going to run, or they might run, they might pass. We don't really.
What's the French way to say Jalen Hurts, by the way? Do we know?
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Jalen. But, anyways, if you remember when we drafted this kid, all the reports were, well, he'll be down in the G League for a couple of years. And I'm like, why? Why don't we just start this kid right away? He's 7 foot tall, right? He's got a great wingspan. He can block shots. Rudy Gobert is, because Rudy's from France, we just learned this, but he's from France. And so he's stated on a couple of different occasions that Rudy was kind of his idol growing up. So I would think the sooner we get him with the big club, the quicker that Rudy can take him under his wing and teach him how to fumble the ball out of bounds, right? Because that's what Rudy does quite a bit. Can teach him how to just score 2 points a game, but maybe get 10 rebounds and a few blocks. But everybody said, no, basketball's so complicated. It's hard to pick it up. Now, you don't have to. I get it. It was a. What are they called? Rookie league games now? What are they?
Summer league.
Summer league.
Yeah.
I know it was just a summer league game against other summer league kids, but he blocked 2. We talked about this late last week because this happened last week, but we didn't really dive too deep into it. Beringer blocked 2 shots on the first possession of the game and finished with 7, tying a summer league record. It was an impressive debut.
His first game ever.
Yeah, his first game ever. It was an impressive debut for the French rookie, who also scored 11 points on 5 or 6 shooting to go with 8 rebounds. Why does he have to go to the summer league? Why does he have to go to the G League? He should start, and Gobert should try to learn something under him.
I was going to say, I'm going to take a step further. Not only should he be on the big club, this is now your moment to trade Rudy Gobert because you have your Rudy Gobert placement. He can play immediately. So he can play immediately at a fraction of the price, get rid of that Gobert contract. You've now got your Gobert replacement, and now you can use that money
to go get Big Meow, Bodega Cat.
There you go.
We can bring Bodega back. No, but you're right. That's let me do it again. Brilliant. Now we can trade him. Did you hear what Rob Dillingham had to say about it? Robbie D? I don't even have to explain it. You all see it. He was like that since the first day. He plays hard, run the floor, take coaching well, and he plays with everybody. He's going to be special. Yeah. I don't want to. We don't need him in Iowa. Let's get him up with the big club.
I wouldn't even say he's going to be special. I would say he is.
Yes, that's what I would say. He is special. And again, I think I made this comparison either on air or off air. I understand, like, who's our Floyd Turner? Is that our linebacker we got from Alabama? 17th pick overall 2 years ago. What's his name? It's Turner.
Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner. I think Floyd Turner played for the Denver Broncos back in the 60s and 70s. So Dallas Turner. Now, I understand why you can bring a guy in football along. So it's like I said last time, Timmy, one botched coverage in a football game can cost you a game. And when you only have 17 of them, you might go, that wouldn't happen in that game. We'd be in the playoffs as a wild card club. If he fumbles a couple out of bounds or makes a bad pass or misses a layup or whatever the case may be for 2 possessions, that's 4 points in one of 82 games. It's not that big of a deal.
Instead of 54 and 28, you're 50 and 32.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so you're still going to get because you just want to get into the playoffs as 1 through 6 would be ideal. You don't want to do the play-in. But even there, you could be the 7 or 8 team. I say play the kid. He's young. He's fun. He's you and me. He's fresh. He's exciting. He's got a lot of talent. He's eager to learn. I hope they, and what do you think he'll spend most of his time in the G League the week? Because
I'm guessing these performances have probably caught the eyes of the coaches and management a little bit,
right?
Because he was sold to us as a project,
correct?
And I get it. Like, let's face it. He's probably got to put some weight. He's got to put some muscle on his bones, right? Like that's probably what we're talking about the most in a 2-3 year stretch here. If he's got to build some muscle so he can handle the rigors of the big men in the NBA. But in terms of just a splashy performance right away, he might not be as much of a project as they were selling, or at least maybe the media was selling.
Yeah. The
guy can play.
He can play.
And he hasn't even been playing basketball that long. Like you can just tell he's an athlete. And it's hard to find athletes at that size.
You are absolutely correct. Here's something else. I'll tease this. This will be my tease for the other side of the break. Somebody that is very high up in the food chain with the Timberwolves has come around to Common's way of thinking. Hope I can find the story, quote. But we'll do that on the other side of the break. It's the Common Man program on the Fan.
Thanks to friends at Unreal, you can restock your wardrobe with Unreal Golf Apparel this year, just like Common. Register to win up to $1,000 in Unreal Golf Apparel on our contest page. One lucky winner will restock their closet with amazing golf apparel thanks to Unreal. That's KFAN.com. Keyword contest. Enter today.
The French pronunciation is Rudy Gobert. The English pronunciation is Rudy Gobert. Right? It's Joan Beringer. It's not Joan Beringer. I guess the French name would be Daniel Collier. No, it's Dan Cole. Whether it's in French, German. Norwegian, Swedish, Mexican.
Even when we've heard like Spanish play-by-play of some of our sports calls, they're speaking in Spanish. The second they go to say the person's name, all of a sudden it's the English version of it.
That's exactly right. This is a text that is, there are several that are in the same vein or the same bent, just worded different, but this one is, hey, team overreaction. It's Summer League. Relax. I know it's Summer League. But if he's dominating Summer League, what good does that do him to play in the G League? It's going to be the same thing. He's going to dominate. So dominating every day, every game, playing against other G League players, that's like going to do him any good? Leave the basketball analysis to the professionals, those of us in the basketball community. You play them right away. Matter of fact, you want some more esoteric approach? This was part of that story about Beringer. Clark, Dillingham, Shannon show their stuff. Says the Wolves came to Las Vegas with 3 players who all saw significant playing time at different points last season. Dillingham, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Jalen Clark. All 3 will be contending for more time next season after the departure of Nickeil Alexander-Walker to Atlanta. And head coach Chris Finch, get ready for this, Tenemy,
Okay.
saying he was going to expand his rotation into 9 or 10 players next season.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. What a novel concept. I never thought of that. Boy, it's leave it to the guys that coach in the NBA. What a great idea. Instead of just grinding 8 players into the ground, you got 15. You got 5 that play, 3 that come in. There's 7 other guys rotting on the bench. Why did you draft them in the first place? Why did you sign them? To just balance out the bench like a teeter-totter? It's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard of. And again, I'm not saying that you play all 15 guys and you all play them an equal amount of time. If you put Rosen's favorite player was the big guy from Iowa, 2-time NCAA Player of the Year that's now with
Boston.
With Boston. What's his name again?
Why am I not forgetting his name all of a sudden?
I'm forgetting his name, too. I don't even remember your name. I think yours is Tenebia in French. Tenebia. Big, kind of dopey guy with a big draw. The hell was his name? He was 2-time Player of the Year. You're looking right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, Luka Garza.
Luka Garza. Aren't there? So I guess the coach must feel they know the team better than I. I guess it goes back to Zimmer. Remember when they were talking about playing Kellen Mond? I see Kellen Mond every day. That's kind of harsh, but I kind of, you know what? I like Zim. I'm not saying he should still be the coach of the Vikings or anything, but he was just tired of people saying Kellen Mond, this guy, and I think he was right about Kellen. Does Kellen still have a job in the NFL, or is he out now?
He was a backup there for a while.
Okay, so guess the coach was right, but everybody wanted to see.
I thought I heard he was in one of those. I don't even know what the other leagues are now.
All right,
like a
USFL
XFL or Canadian FL. Yeah.
I guess the coach knew everything he needed to about Kellen Mond. He watched Kellen Mond in practice.
Yeah, he's the quarterback of the San Antonio Brahmas of the United Football League.
Those all-knowing Viking football fans still want to see Kellen Mond. And look, I know Zim doesn't have all the answers. If he did, he'd be still coaching the club. Then he and PA had a horse divorce. So that went south.
This team went 1-6. They're 1-6 so far this year.
Do we want Kellen Mond give him another shot at quarterback? Well, maybe with the quarterback whisperer, maybe he could have been the next Sammy Darnold. I don't know. Old Sam Darnold has an army, E-I-E-I-O. Wonder if Starchy will start using that. And that's naming... Who's that Seattle sports talk show that PA has on as a Starchy? Softy. He should change it to Starchy. That's better. Starchy is a good nickname.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And he could call himself and he could get a sidekick and call it Starchy and Husk. or something like that. He dominated the summer league. And playing 10 guys. So, and you're not going to tell me that inserting Garza and I know that Clark, Dillingham, and Shannon they played some quality minutes, I guess, during the season. But if you put them in, you've got one of those skip games. Give me a team that's the dregs of the NBA, Tennessee. You're in the basketball community.
Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz. Playing the Jazz in early December. You run it out to a 20-point lead. Now, I know it can be dangerous. I mean, we've seen 20-point leads evaporate in a minute, right? Well, maybe not a minute, but in a couple minutes. But if you're up 20 on a skip game, well, put in Dillingham, put in Garza, let them play. They're not going to get any better if you don't play them.
Well, let me add to this.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
I call him Ant.
Last couple of years.
Yes.
Been pretty good first couple rounds of the playoffs. Seems like he might fade a little bit when you get to that conference championship. Is he getting a little fatigued? Is he getting a little tucked? Or does he need a little more load management during the season?
Oh my gosh.
That's controversial.
Above average.
Ant fights against that, but
he does.
But sometimes,
and I respect it.
Yeah, and I respect it too. But sometimes, and I think you and I both agree, we're not big fans of load management, but you can load manage and blow out games. When the game is, when you got a 22-point halftime lead, it happens all the time in the league. We all see it. It seems like every NBA game, one team tries harder than the others because every team that loses, that's what their quote is. Well, the other team tried harder than we did. So on those games when the other team's trying harder, then put in your backups. Or when the team you're playing isn't trying harder, put in your back. Then they would all get more playing time. Think of how much further Dillingham would be. Instead of wondering now, oh my gosh, can Dillingham handle it? Well, we don't have a point guard. What are we going to do? Connolly's getting old. Are we going to be able to, or Conley? Do we get to play? Are we going to, how many minutes is he going to play? I think most people feel he's not. I mean, he probably is he's good enough to start, but because he's 37 to 38 years old, it's, nobody, you can use this Tennessee the next time you set sail with the Tennessee Fitzgerald. Nobody beats Father Time.
Ooh,
right?
I like that.
Yeah, you can use that. So now we're wondering, was Dillingham, well, he'd probably be a lot further along had we used him a little bit more. We might even know more about him right now. We might not, now it's like, well, we just got to see.
We don't know what we got.
Yeah, we don't even know what we got. Well, it's because we only played.
Maybe that's the offseason we should be striking to get somebody else to take that spot. But we don't know.
But we don't know because we only played an 8-man rotation. But now the head coach has come around to my way of thinking. And he's going to play 9 or 10 players. And I like that. And that's probably, it's the old.
Maybe he feels his depth is better this year.
That could be. That could be. But I think I don't know how his depth's changed that much.
But just the young guy is another year in the league.
But again, another year in the league, but they didn't play very much. Now, I guess, like it says in the story, Clark Dillingham and
Terrence Shannon Jr.
They did see significant playing. It was just at different stages of the season, and it seemed like a lot of it was jam-packed. It wasn't like every game giving a guy minutes, get into the feel of a game, let him play, do this, play against some of the best players in the league. Hey, we want to see what you can do against him. But I understand, too, you're in to win ball games. If you do it's a fine line. If you do too much of that, it could end up costing you games. But there's so many just giveaway games in the league anyways. Like you say, finish 50 and whatever, what does that be, 50 and 32, and you'll make the playoffs. If you feel like you're giving away a game, well, then you back off on that a little bit and don't play them as much. But and I think a lot of it tend to be it's the old they always call the NFL a copycat league, right? It's
yeah,
a copycat league. Well, the Thunder played 10 guys all year, every game, every month, every week, all year. Always played 10 guys.
Yeah.
So they had 10 guys that were used to playing basketball, playing with each other, and they get into the postseason playing. It's not like, oh my gosh, he hasn't played much. We got foul trouble, so we got to put Joe Bag of Donuts in. But God, Joe Bag of Donuts has never taken his sweats off once during a regular season game, and now we got to count on him. It's just so ridiculous. I don't understand. It's like we give you reps when I'm out, right? And we include you in on the conversation. I don't go, Ted, don't talk today. Just be quiet because you're not ready yet. I mean, just think about how insulting that is.
Well, I kind of did get that speech given to me about 13, 14 years ago.
Did you? Was it for me?
No.
Oh, you did from the coroner's office?
Yeah, I was just an inexperienced young pup.
Well, and you know now when to come in, when to not. When you're first starting, like, I might be into this long rambling dissertation that, I mean, the host thinks it's brilliant, but it's probably not. But you got to go on. He thinks he's really, he's into some deep topic where he's really, he's doing the esoteric approach. So I better just let him go, and then I'll rip him afterwards. And so you know when you pick your spots, and you know how to do it. But it's because you've been doing it for so long.
But yeah, and I would do the equivalent to basketball, right? Like, half of the jokes you say now, I know is coming ahead of time. I already know how to play off. I already know where it's coming. Same thing in basketball. If you know that your teammate's going to be in this spot at this time, it's a lot easier to play the game. You know when to give the pass there, when to take the shot there.
But
when to switch here.
Here comes the Victoria's Secret joke. I'll go ahead and get my fake laugh ready. You know when to do the fake laugh or the.
We are past the halfway point of the year. Have you looked at your New Year's resolutions at all?
I check them several times a year, and I did look at them. Matter of fact, I just looked at them on July 1st at the halfway point, and not only have I broken all of my New Year's resolutions, but 7 of the 10 commandments as well. Yoga pants, breasts. That Power Trip morning show, they're pretty wacky guys. So here's my suggestion. I'm all on board at the coach, playing 9 or 10 guys, unless you don't earn your minutes. If you're terrible, then you try a different guy on the bench, right? But play 9 or 10, and then let's get Joan Beringer, or as I like to say, Joan Beringer. Let's get Beringer in there. Let him play. Now, the other kid, he's also... Is Beringer is he the 7'1" guy, or is that the other guy? Because I think 1'6".
The other guy's taller.
Is the other guy? So the other guy might be the 7'1".
Zakarski.
He might be 7'1", and Beringer is like 6'11". That's both really tall. What's 2 inches when you're almost as tall as a skyscraper? I don't know if he's ready for it either. I don't know how much he played in that G League game. As a matter of fact, someone tried to get me going, and they said via our Brad, Sean, Bryant, KFAN text line, it says, hey, Common, you've never watched a Lynx game, but you're watching NBA Summer League? Sad. Mike from Minneapolis. And I sent him a reply. I don't watch either. I didn't watch the Summer League. I'm just going by what was Rat wrote. What more do you need to know that he blocked 2 shots in the first possession of the game, set a Summer League record with 7 block shots, was like 6 for 11 on shooting and had 11 points and a bunch of boards? What more? I don't need to know anymore. I don't need to see it. I can see the numbers.
I saw highlights.
You saw highlights?
Yeah.
He was a combination. Can we come up with 3 rhyming players' name in basketball? Big guys, I don't know if we can. Gobert, and whoever. I mean, I don't need to know any more than that. So I'm kind of, again, we're so early. I mean, Wolves won't report until next week, and then the season starts 2 weeks later. It seems like it anyways, right? Because they'll start in... Hockey
September.
Starts even sooner, right?
Yeah, mid-September we'll have training camp for the Wild.
Yeah, and then they start playing games in October, right?
Yeah, early October.
And I think the NBA doesn't start till like that first week in November, regular season games, I think. But nevertheless, it won't be too terribly long from now. And I'd love to see the young kid, Beringer, playing with the big club, and let's play 10 guys. I'd like to get a point guard. I don't know who's available, if there is anybody. I would think by now are the pickings pretty slim at this point to try to find anybody. I guess you have to make a trade, right? Because are there any? I mean, the big name though, he's going to be out for a good chunk of the season, is Dame. Oh, right. Dame time. Yeah, Dame time. Dame Lillard. Dame costs you. Yeah, I'm assuming any other point guard would have to be via trade. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, and I don't know. But I would also say, like,
I think the point guard position, I think we're still living kind of like in the 1990s when point guard was super, super important. Like you just need a ball handler who can bring they're not being like pressured full court where you need a guy to be able to weave in and out and take care of the ball all the time in the NBA.
Tend to agree
like
with you. Yeah.
half the time, like they have big men walking the ball up the court. So you just need another guy who can put the ball in the bucket and handle the ball a little bit.
I did not just perusing the fish wrap websites. The Wild, all quiet on the Western Front right now, right?
It's been very quiet.
Yeah. Almost
We're 2
quiet.
weeks into this Kaprizov thing now.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. Guerin seems, just with his comments, he almost seems, I think you told me, you almost get the feel, or maybe it was Russo who said this when he was with us. You almost get the feeling from Guerin what he's saying that it's a done deal. We're just waiting. Much like I was wondering what's going on with Kwesi. I mean, they couldn't, the wheels were falling over themselves to sign Coach of the Year, but Kwesi was like, nothing done yet. And then, for me, it's like, okay, is there something to this? But apparently there wasn't. And Kwesi said it all along because he was asked a couple of times during some news briefings or interviews about, are you worried? Nah, I don't worry about that. Let my agent take care of that. And I guess he was right because Kwesi did get the extension, right?
He did.
Yeah. And so do you think Guerin is...
Well, question for you.
Okay.
Do you think a team or an organization would it ever intentionally delay the announcement of the contract for PR purposes? Right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I saw the note. I think it was Russo who maybe mentioned this, that, hey, Kaprizov's in Russia right now. Maybe they're waiting until he comes back to the U.S. before they announce it. And, right, like if you announce it on July 1st when he was eligible, and he's in Russia, it would have been news for that day. But if you hold it off, like we're talking now, is this like the fourth or fifth time now in the last 2 weeks we've talked about Kaprizov's contract? You keep yourselves in the news.
Sure.
You build up maybe a little bit of angst with your fans, and then they get even more excited when they see the contract comes out.
Sure.
You have some sort of celebration already planned out with Kaprizov once he's here. Like, is it possible that this is like a Joe Mauer framework of the deal is already in place? And hey, just for PR purposes, let's just get our fan base going for a little bit. Could they do that?
That could be. No, I do not.
Because if they're not anywhere close on a contract, we need to consider trading him right now.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like if you are convinced he's going elsewhere after he's got one more year left for his deal, if you are convinced he's going to the New York Rangers after the season, like you need to trade him and get everything you can for him right now. Or there should be, and there's zero trade rumors. I haven't heard one trade rumor.
Right. Well, I had thought for a while, Parise's Suter deal was announced on the 4th of July, was it not?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe they were going to say, you know what, to bring this thing full circle, we'll announce the Kaprizov signing on the 4th of July.
You see the lights flickering in
You
here?
know why? It's because radios all over the Twin Cities are turning on to the Common Man Bar. Or would they be turning off? Energy
I was going to say, they heard my Kaprizov take and they're all flipping it to a different station.
Maybe they could. I mean, maybe this Beringer and Gobert and what's the other kid's name? Sepp Straka? The other big guy we got.
Rocco Zakarski?
Maybe they could be a combination of Kareem, Hakeem, and Draymond Green. Right? It could be a combination of Kareem, Hakeem, and Draymond Green. What more could we need? So, God, Kareem was good. I think I've asked this question before. Trent Tucker and I text and talk more than most people know. I'm going to text him during the top of the hour break and see if he'll respond to the question is, why hasn't anybody else ever tried to do the sky hook like Elijah, Jabbar did? It was the most unstoppable shot in the history of the national bet, right?
Nobody's tried it.
But nobody does it. I don't know why. It's such a great little shot.
It can't be blocked.
It can't be blocked, except by our guy, Beringer.
Well, yeah, he would block it.
Beringer would block it.
Beringer kind of had one in that first summer league when I was watching the highlights. It wasn't a pure sky hook, but it was a nice little touch shot from, 6-7 feet.
Back when we played pickup basketball over in Coon Rapids, over Northdale Junior High, I would try the skyhook shot. Let's say a 5'8" guy doing this, not as effective as a 7'1" guy.
Yeah, a little easier in the that tall.
Yeah. But I still like doing the shot. I made a few of them. I like that. So we'll do that on the other side of the break. Plus, I got another NTR idea, non-traditional revenue, that I teased earlier, didn't get to. That and maybe some controversial Vikings news and more in the 2 o'clock hour number 3 of the Common Man program. That's coming up next here on The Fan.